Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody for tuning in to another episode of the Sports Oriented Wokeism Show. I'm your host, Solomon Wafua, where in this show it's all about digging deep inside the headlines of sports culture that is being infested with wokeism. And I'm here to prove to you guys that wokeism is not good for the sports culture and the sports industry altogether. Why? Because wokeism is a liberal, progressive agenda that makes sure that there is no critical thinking, making sure that your free speech is censored, and at the same time that you have to bow down to the woke movement, which is a combination of ignorance and arrogance. That's all wokeism is all about. But my job as the host of this show is to break down the headlines that has wokeism in the sports headlines and be able to let you guys know that hey, wokeism is not good for the sports culture and industry as a whole, or even sports business in general. And so, without further ado, first of all, I want to congratulate everybody for really contributing in the previous episode. I'm sure you really enjoyed it, and I hope you're going to continue with that pace as I give you this new episode of the show. And yeah, today, as you can see, I'm wearing the t-shirt that says why, because today the title of my episode is Why Kate. Why Kate? Now you may be wondering, which Kate are you talking about? Is it Kate that we all know, like Kate Middleton, the Kate of Kate, or are you talking about Caitlyn? Which you're close there, Caitlyn Jenner, which I'm not going to talk about, but you're close to what I'm about to talk about. Caitlyn with the Kaitlyn, that is Caitlyn, but in short form is Kate, Cait. Now that is the Kate I'm talking about, but not Caitlyn Jenner. No, it's Caitlin Clark. You know why? Do you know why? It's because she became the all-time top scorer in women's college basketball history after scoring 49 points and made 13 assists in their uh, convincing win over conference rivals Michigan, which was played at her home state in Iowa. And she had an incredible performance. Now, before the game started, all she needed was 8 points to beat Kelsey Plum's record of being the all-time top scorer in women's college basketball history. Because in the previous game, Iowa lost to Nebraska by 3 points when they're playing away from home, despite her scoring 31 points and also creating 10 assists. She had an all-round game, which I watched the full game. That was last Sunday. I watched the full game. She was really impressive, but yeah, they came up short, losing by 3 points. I think it was a very close one, 1 to 3 points they lost. But this time around, last night, which is early morning hours here in Kenya where I am, she did history. She just needed to score the first 8 points of that game, be able to break Kelsey Plum's record. And as you all know, once the record was broken, there are so many messages that were flooding in the social media telling her congratulations, congratulations, you've done the impossible. And from even legends in other sports, or even those who used to play in women's basketball, either pro or college, they all congratulated her, including those who she has surpassed, like Brittany Griner, Jackie Styles, even Kelsey Plum congratulated her a day or so before Iowa's game against Michigan. I mean, that just goes to tell you that they all respect her, they all congratulate her for her efforts and her achievements, and they all know that she's going to be a huge success in the WNBA, which I'm going to discuss later on in this episode on whether she'll join the WNBA as soon as people thought. But let's speak of how the game went down. Of course, she scored 8 points, the first 8 points of the game, but in the end, it was a convincing win for the team. Iowa, they did a huge celebration in the arena in Iowa. She ended up with 49 points, which of course is also the school record all time for most points scored in a game by a female player. And that's already another record being broken. So Caitlin Clark is box office. We can't lie to each other. She is box office. Now, allow me to give you facts and evidence and tell you why Kate is my title of today, because Kate, number one, let me prove to you, number one, Kate is going to be the future of women's basketball as a pro. That is number one, and I'm going to prove to you that evidence just by comparing season averages from her this season and some WNBA players of last year in 2020, and I'm going to prove to you why she's the future of women's basketball. And number two is not directly to Caitlin Clark, but it's directly to the WNBA. Number two is that the NBA will always be better than WNBA. So this thing of pay equity, forget about it. That is another reason I'm going to prove to you through his new 3-point contest that is one-on-one between Sabrina Ionescu and Stephen Curry. And I'm going to give you facts just based on their history in the 3-point contest and even their 3 points career in their respective leagues. But before I go further, let's talk about Caitlin Clark versus WNBA players when it comes to points and 3-point shooting. Now, number one, this season she's averaging 32.8 points as of today, February 16th. 32.8, which is number one overall out of 362 colleges across America. Now, if you look at in the WNBA, the person who averaged the highest was Joel Lloyd, who had 24.7. What does that tell you? It tells you that Caitlin Clark can even score more on average than Joel Lloyd, and she's not even in the W. That's the nickname for WNBA for those who are wondering. Number two evidence to prove to you that Caitlin Clark is the future of women's basketball. So far, she has scored a total of 852 points, including the 49 last night. But if you look at Joel Lloyd, who was the leader in total points scored last year in 2023, she had 939. That is just the whole season, in the regular season. But Caitlin Clark has 4 regular season games left. 4. All she needs is an average of 21.75 points per game or 22 points per game to beat Joel Lloyd's total points that she has scored the whole of last year. Now, people will be saying, oh, it's because Caitlin Clark is playing less games. You know, their college basketball is structured. Whereas for Joel Lloyd has played more. But who cares? What we care is, can you score more than the pros? Can you score more than other colleagues in college? And which gives more entertainment? That is another fact. By the time the regular season is done, 4 games later in the regular season in the Big Ten, because that's the conference that her team is representing, she is going to basically beat Joel Lloyd's points total in 2023. That is just a fact. And another fact I want to tell you is that Caitlin Clark so far scored 143s. 143s. But if you look at Sabrina Ionescu, who had a total of 128 threes scored last year in the WNBA, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you that Caitlin Clark is even a better 3-point shooter than Sabrina. That's why she's the future of the WNBA. Another fact, Caitlin Clark has scored an average of 5 threes per game. But if you look at Sabrina Ionescu once again, who is still leading in 3-point shooting, made per game, she made 3.6. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you she's more efficient than Sabrina. Or she scores more per game than Sabrina. No disrespect to Sabrina. She had a good season last year. The Liberty finished runners-up to the defending champs, the Las Vegas Aces. No disrespect to Sabrina, but you have to face the truth. Caitlin Clark is going to be the future of the W. She'll make fans buy tickets. It is going to be sold out. People will watch it on different devices and so forth. Now, let's go to 3-point attempts. Now, 3-point attempts, she has made 351 attempts. But if you look at Arika Gumbowale, she has made 391. And she is not yet over with the season. 4 games to go. So what does that tell you? It tells you she's going to break it. And this woke comment or statement from Cheryl Swoops, one of the legendary WNBA players, where says she attempts 40 points per game, That is a basic lie. She doesn't do her research. That's the truth. They just hate her because she is more successful than the majority of the WNBA players who are black. And last but not least, Caitlin Clark, has averaged 13.5 3-point attempts per game so far, and is not even over in college basketball. But if you look at Arika Gumbowale, who was leading there, she had 8.5 3-point attempts per game. What does that tell you? It tells you that Caitlin Clark can do more for threes in women's basketball as a pro than all these other players I've just mentioned. Either it is Joel Lloyd, either it's Sabrina Ionescu, or Arika Ogumbowale. So, now if you look at the totals, the 3-point totals that I'm going to share with you right now, Caitlin Clark so far, she has scored 140, right? She's basically above the top 4 who have scored the most threes in the WNBA. That is Sabrina Ionescu, Arika Ogumbowale, Joel Lloyd, and Kelsey Mitchell. Those are your best 3-pointers in the WNBA. But if Caitlin Clark comes in, she's going to dominate. But what does the woke WNBA players tell you? Oh, she's taking our shine. Oh, we need this and that. They're trying to pull up the victim card. And you think people are going to play around with that? People are not fools. They do their research. They know what they're talking about. And I'm going to speak it out. Because the truth will always set you free. If you don't speak the truth, you'll always be in bondage. That's why people don't attend WNBA games. They don't buy their merchandise. They don't watch it on their devices. And then you want the WNBA to stay for another 10, 20 years? If I were the commissioner of the NBA, you better unplug their support for the WNBA, because it has been doing that for almost 30 years and it has never made any profit for all those years that they have played as the WNBA. That is evidence, that is fact number 1 that I have pointed out. Caitlin Clark is the future of the WNBA. But of course, can the WNBA save itself from financial bankruptcy because of their wokeism? We all know that the answer is no. They can't save itself. But Caitlin Clark will try. Let's see. Number 2. Steph Curry will beat Sabrina Ionescu. And how am I going to prove to you? Let me prove it to you real quick. Number 1, Steph Curry has won more 3-point contests in the All-Star weekend than Sabrina. Sabrina just won it once. Steph has won it twice. That was in 2015 and 2021. Sabrina has just won it last year. That's number 1 evidence. Number 2, Steph Curry in the regular season, he has won more than Sabrina. Sabrina has just won it once, again, 2023. Steph has won it 7 times. What more can I show you? Another thing, Steph Curry is the all-time 3-point scoring leader in the NBA regular season history. Sabrina is not even near top 20 or top 25. But the women want to use that as an opportunity to tell men, hey, feminism is the order of the day. And I know Steph is under pressure. But because of experience, he knows how to handle it. Let's see how it's going to happen. Speaking of All-Star weekend, the 3-point contest is tomorrow on Saturday. Here it's going to be like Sunday morning. But I'll sacrifice the baby sleepless to come and watch the 3-point contest. One-on-one. First time in both the NBA and WNBA history. We will see who is better. Is it Sabrina Ionescu, who is a one-season wonder, or Steph Curry, who is the god of 3-point shooting in the NBA? We are going to see that tomorrow. But in terms of the All-Star weekend, it's starting tonight from Friday all the way to Sunday. Sunday is the All-Star game. Friday and Saturday is combination of All-Star games for the rookies and sophomores, and also skills challenge, dunk contest, and 3-point contest. Both of them one-on-one and also NBA only. So if you're an NBA fan, you want to watch it, make sure you watch it on multiple platforms online, or if you're in America, watch it on TV, on whatever TV broadcaster is showing. But hey, conclusion of this episode: wokeism will never save business. Wokeism will always make companies go broke. You've seen that in Sports Illustrated, you've seen that in other companies. And that's what I had to share. Caitlin Clark, congratulations from me and others. That's it, what I have to share for you today. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you follow and share with your friends. Let's grow this channel, and until next time, from me, Solomon of War, thank you.